Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network on this Saturday before Halloween. Because everybody's busy during Halloween, so we decided to do one on Saturday. I am your host, Corey Derrigan, and alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, the Ghostbuster himself, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. How's it going?
It's going. So no Stoy tonight because their EXP cast is doing Extra Life. So hope somebody wins that PlayStation 5. I guess they're giving away a bunch of stuff. So yeah.
Why are you watching this live? Go watch that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe some people don't want to watch that live. Maybe they want to watch us talk about nothing because there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and obviously there's kind of stuff that's rumbling around, but it's stuff that we kind of already talked about. Like the whole Wu-Tang Clan game is picking up some more steam, and more people are talking about that, and just how weird but cool it is to see them kind of go back to almost that original Xbox or the Xbox 360 era when they would just do all the weird, kind of games and stuff, and just, have fun, just weird things that no one else was picking up really. So
yeah. So this is gonna be kind of it's gonna be a normal episode, but it's gonna be it's really just gonna be one of those episodes where we're just winging it because we kind of pulled this together short notice because Jesse, you're busy tomorrow, and obviously Stoy wasn't going to be on, and I wasn't doing anything, so
and we've always got stuff to talk to. We don't get to talk too much even in chat on during the week, so it's just nice to this is selfishly it's more for us being able to sit and actually shoot the shit for a little bit because we don't get to do it often enough. I haven't even talked to Ed much in chat either lately. He's been really busy, and
I know,
dude, I kind of try to, but
he's been working like I was working for a while, because he's doing multiple stores now, and he's working hard. He's got to buy all those Switch games and all those Xbox games because he refuses to sign up for Game Pass, and Ed has the disposable income to buy games like that. We do not.
So, we have kids. We've got other mouths to feed.
Right. I have 4 mouths to feed. He has 1. So
and that's why he can go to a restaurant every day to eat.
I know. His ironclad stomach. Man, when he's gone, he needs to donate his body to science so they could study why his stomach was able to contain that for so long.
You toughen it up.
I know. It's been a while since us 3 did a show too, long time.
Yeah. I know there's talks because there's a couple of people in Boss Rush who haven't yet but want to watch Midnight Mass, and I watched it. I finished it. Dan finished it. I don't know if Ed has gotten any time to watch any more than what I forced him. This is always what happens. I'll tell Ed about a show, and he'll be super excited about it and want to give it a try, but he never actually watches it.
Yeah.
And so when he was visiting me a couple of weeks ago, before he wanted to head out, we had a couple of hours left. And so I sat him down and I made him watch the first episode. And so he watched it. He really, really was enjoying it. And then he was getting ready to leave. I'm like, oh, it's only 10. You were going to leave at 11. He's like, oh, okay, well, put another episode on. So then we watched another episode. And then there's a really good hook at the end of the second episode. So then he's like, dang it. He's like, let's watch another one. So
Wow.
he ended up watching 3 episodes of it, like all in a row, because he just got hooked right away. And that show, man, it's so good. And so yeah, like we wanna do a spoiler cast episode and talk about that show. Probably it will probably end up being next year,
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, there's a couple of people who want to watch it yet, and I would like to have, like, Austin needs to watch it yet,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to join us if we do an episode about it. But it's just it's such a good show. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're listening and you like spooky kind of like shows, that kind of go different places, it's definitely worth checking out. I can't say, it's one of those shows where I can't say anything about it without spoiling it, and that's why I think a lot of people didn't give it a shot. Is because if you watch the trailer, it's honestly, it's complete crap, because they can't tell you anything, because they can't go into anything that the show is about, because the second they do, they completely spoil the whole entire mystery of the show, and you don't really learn about what's going on until like the 4th episode. So yeah, like it's hard to watch that trailer and expect anyone to be interested in watching it, honestly, because they can't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, hey, here's people. Hey, they're religious. Hey, that's it. Like, what? That's not something I'm interested in watching. Like,
Wow.
yeah, but it goes so many places that they can't. All the interesting parts of the show and the acting is just so phenomenal that they can't really get that part across in the trailer without completely wrecking the whole mystery of what it's about. So yeah. So
Wow.
there's, yeah, like honestly, this, like, the last couple of months have just been mostly me watching stuff and trying to get caught up on shows that I've heard people ranting and raving about, and still haven't watched. I canceled my thing, but I never got a chance to watch Ted Lasso,
Mm.
because I just there like, other than that, there wasn't enough uh on that to keep it, and I'm not a person who has an iPhone or anything that got a free year of it. I watched it. I watched the show that I wanted to see through the I found like a month free trial or whatever, and then just watched a show that I wanted to see through that. But
Mm.
I couldn't pay the $5 or whatever it is a month, and
Yeah.
because there wasn't. I'll probably watch Ted Lasso eventually,
It's good. I mean,
even if I just end up buying.
it's the reason why I paid for Apple TV Plus. That and
Yeah.
Mythic Quest is really good. So
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is
See, and that's the thing.
that's the show that's like, you know what it is, right? Mythic Quest, the show that's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
game developer, but it's like The Office, sort of, I guess.
Yeah. 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 Because I remember hearing people talking about that, and you talking about it as well
Uh-huh.
at some point. But yeah, I think that's the thing, is it's still a little too new for me to really, like, for me to really know what I would be looking for if I have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, like, what I'll probably end up doing is, like, I'll like, once the like, some of those shows have like 4 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
I can just like rent it, pay for a month or two, just watch everything that I want to watch, and then just cancel
Yeah.
it.
Well, I think there's like a free trial, and then, I mean,
Yeah.
I watched all of Ted Lasso in like a month and a half, so
Yeah. Yeah, because they're on what, 3 seasons, or is it 2?
it's 2, but they're 12
Yeah.
episodes a season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, which is perfect.
yeah.
Man, I'm so glad that like the whole Netflix like adapted that more British style of shows where yeah, you only have like 10 or 12 episodes a season, because it's just so much better, man, cuz going back and looking at shows like Lost and all that, I think those shows could have did so much better if they would have just condensed everything down to 12 episodes a season, and not, filled it with all this BS that honestly a lot of the times just ends up confusing you, and spends more time of you forgetting what you previously watched, or like it's just too much.
Mhm.
Like 10 or 12 episodes is perfect for a show.
Right.
But
Right. So I don't know. Apple is like, it's like those two shows are cool, but I don't know if I'm going to continue my subscription until Ted Lasso's out again, and even then I might just like wait till the season is over, because it's like it's a really great show, but I would rather just like watch it over the course of a week instead of waiting, like 3 months or whatever. So plus there's nothing else on Apple TV
like
that
I said,
I really care about.
yeah. Well, and like I said, yeah, I think and that's part of its being in its infancy. It's kind of like what Netflix went through. For a while there, it was.
But
just
the difference between Netflix and Apple TV is that like Netflix started out as having like everything, and then they added original content, whereas Apple TV is like only original content with some extras.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, there's always some like it's always worth well, I don't know if it is now, but at the time it was always worth subscribing to Netflix, because you could watch The Office or Parks and Rec or How I Met Your Mother or whatever else you wanted to watch while you're waiting for that next original show that you liked.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of how it still is with Netflix. There's like, I have shows that I'm like not super eager to get to that are on Netflix, or things that I like. Like I love docuseries or documentaries, and and there's just tons of that stuff all the time being added on Netflix. So like when there's a lull in like original content, I usually just end up watching stuff like that. But and like I'm kind of curious where this whole gaming stuff with Netflix is gonna go, because that still is a thing that's been being talked about, that's supposedly gonna happen. Like they're gonna have their own like game service like connected to it. But
Yeah, the thing is though, is like the cloud stuff, man, or the streaming stuff, it's just like it's not where it needs to be. I mean, as convenient as xCloud is, and like, even theoretically at my job now, like I could take an Xbox controller to work and plug it in and play it for like 45 minutes during my break or whatever. But like, it's still not like, it's never, I still don't know when it's going to be the ideal way to play a game, And that's the problem with Netflix and gaming, is like they have no option to download stuff, right? I mean, well,
yeah.
I mean, I guess technically they do. Like if you watch shows offline or whatever, you can download them and watch them on your phone while you're on a plane or something. But like, I don't know. I mean, if they go this route where they're buying like smaller teams, because what was the team they just bought? Night School, right? That did Oxenfree, right? That was the team that they bought.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, I mean, like, if they're going to go that route and just offer experiences like that, and then, like, integrate somehow, like, that Stranger Things game they did, or that Dark Crystal game that they did, like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Like, that's fine, but, like, I don't think you're ever going to see something like Assassin's Creed or Guardians of the Galaxy or Halo or something on there, right? Like, I don't see it. It's going to be more like the Telltale stuff or Life is Strange or these little indie games, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I could see like maybe if they have, if they have some like kind of original content that would fit more in a like God of War, style game, or like like something that's more story driven and more of that like action packed kind of game. Like I could see them eventually doing something,
Mm-hmm.
like that, but I think right now, yeah, they like their 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 IPs or their properties that they're using to build these games around are kind of stuff that's more suited for a smaller, you know, bite-sized kind of game that, that's easier. That's not like, it's not power. It's not a beast of a game that needs like a lot of power to play or anything like that. So,
Right.
and I think, who knows? But then again, I mean, that's going to suit them because the more that it's something that can be played like on a phone or something like that, the better the chances are of it running decent through a streaming, like a more of an xCloud style kind of thing, if it's not super demanding, um
Right.
graphics wise and all that. So
Right.
I mean, and like 5G is finally starting to roll out. I'm kind of pissed because my phone, when I bought it, said it was going to be 4G or 5G, capable, and
Mm-hmm.
it is, but not the kind of 5G that's being used for the majority of places. The only
Right.
time I've been able to use 5G on my phone was when I was in Chicago with everyone, when we were out at Chicago and eating for breakfast and stuff like that. Like all of a sudden I noticed, I'm like, holy crap, I have 5G,
Right.
and it was super fast, but it's the type of 5G that's not that you would need to literally have an antenna on every single light post,
Right.
and you have to be right by the things in order to be able to get a good connection. So, and that's not the one that they're using around here by me. It's the other one. So I'm, that we have 5G here, but I don't. My phone isn't capable of using it. So
Yeah.
kind of sucks. But I mean, once that happens, I think things will be a little bit better. But still, I mean, it's like a direct connection to the internet is always going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Stable.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah, it's
guess.
future. That's future stuff. We'll see what Xbox does with the X Cloud, and if we see any substantial changes and how it performs and stuff like that. Like
Right.
it works fine when I'm on a really good connection, but
Yeah. Well.
I can't on 4G though. It doesn't work very well on 4G, only on Wi-Fi. So
Right. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I guess it'll come sooner than later. I guess.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing is our internet infrastructure in the United States is so all over the place and
Right.
shitty
If you don't live
that
close to like a large city, it's like, good luck.
yeah, yeah. And like I'm in a big small city,
Mm-hmm.
so like so and my work is right by College Avenue, which is just a mile long stretch of bars that's open till 3 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just everyone down there all on their phone using the internet, the tower at the same time. So there's literally nights when I'm at work where my freaking phone won't even get a internet connection while I'm outside sometimes. Or it
Jeez.
used to be. It used to be that way until I upgraded to the tier of it where I'm prioritized over other people for internet
Right.
usage. But yeah, that sucked, man. Like when you got everyone all in one spot trying to use the internet, and it just completely just shuts off, like because
Right.
it can't handle all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of those kinds of issues too, where it's just like, yeah, it's not good.
No. Well, for now, I have good internet and decent Wi-Fi, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah. You're
it's weird because in the house I can like it works okay on my laptop, but
mhm,
like it doesn't work at all in the bedroom when I'm on my phone. So I don't know
mm,
if just like I mean I also don't have a 5G phone either, so
yeah. Well, and I mean, yeah, that can it's weird too, like with connections. I know sometimes, yeah, like certain buildings or certain rooms even in certain buildings will, yeah, like suck for internet, and then like you could like literally step out of that building or that room and then all of a sudden it works.
right.
Yeah, and Wi-Fi can kind of be the same thing too, but who's got the money to spend like $500-600 on a good modem, or on a good router,
Right.
Wi-Fi router,
Yeah, I mean
like, I
unless you're
mean,
like a business and you need that kind of stuff, like
yeah,
what's the point, you know?
yeah, yeah, because it kind of is shitty, like I was thinking about that one day, that like in order for you to have a router or Wi-Fi that really is dedicated and works really well for gaming, I don't understand why we should have to spend $300, $400 at the low end to get a good, router modem for gaming. Like, it's, to me, that's just insane. Like, I don't know. It's crazy how expensive. Like, I was looking the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize that there's like Wi-Fi routers that can reach close to like $900. Like,
Right.
what the hell? Like, why?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, this is, what is it? Tri-mesh Wi-Fi, whatever that is. It's like you get like three little things that look like little square Echo dots or something, that you might, I don't know if you have to set them in different spots in your house or how it works, but it's apparently the three of them work together to like boost the internet and make it like super fast, like you have a direct connection to it, but it's over Wi-Fi. I don't really know how it works or anything, but
Yeah.
it's just crazy though. But I guess.
Yeah. Well, you can tell it's a slow news week when we're talking about this stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So the initial plan, like for tomorrow, the initial plan was for me to like play Guardians of the Galaxy tonight and talk about it. But I probably won't talk about it until next week because it's still downloading and I don't have anything to talk about. Uh, I'm gonna skip the housekeeping stuff, which I might just skip it in general, and you guys can just look at the show notes,
yeah,
or maybe I'll just do what Power Block does and make a short snippet at the beginning of the show or something.
yeah. I've been really thinking that. I think we should maybe try to just, yeah, do like those pre-recorded things that you can pop in and
Yeah,
like it, in post or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
I think I'm gonna do that for all the shows, or at least shorten it up or something, because it's just I don't know. I feel like the shows I like don't do that. Like
yeah.
Bombcast or
Hmm.
Sacred Symbols, or these shows that I like to listen to. They don't really do a whole housekeeping thing, and I did that because the shows I used to listen to did that, and then I don't listen to those shows anymore because I got annoyed by it. And so, like, I don't know. I want people to know where we're at, but I also don't want to waste time during the show to do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're listening to the show or any of our shows, just email us at bossrush@gmail.com or arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com and just let us know what you think, like what you guys think maybe the best idea could be, so we can kind of better the shows for your listening. Because like, look, I don't need the beginning of every show to be like a marketing ploy for our shows. I mean, like, I want the shows to grow. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's I know that shit's annoying. I know, and I've just been on like autopilot when it comes to like, you know, designing the show docs or whatever, and that's just something that's always there is the housekeeping, and it's like, well, I gotta do that, but I don't really want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, the Bombcast is one of the biggest podcasts in the world, and they don't do any of that shit. They don't even tell people where they can find them, you know.
Yeah. 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 You know, and I for a while there when I had took over, I didn't really do a whole lot of that, but then I was like, you know what, I do though want to make sure that they're at least checking out the shows that we support but aren't necessarily like our shows that we're doing every week, you know, like EXP casts and
I mean, we want to we want to let people know that we are on other shows, right? Like whenever you pop up on the Boss Rush podcast, or I'm on Pow Block, or obviously Stoy, like the EXP cast isn't like technically part of the slate of our shows, but they're still part of the network. So we want to make sure like Stoy gets the proper promotion. So we'll figure that out by next week.
I think, you know, and like I think like you said though, like I think enough people when they listen to something, if they're curious to know any information about what they just listened to, they just check the show notes, you know. And like, and I feel like, I mean,
all the notes are in the YouTube description, they're in the podcast description, they're on the website, right? Like, they're there. And maybe at the end of the show, like I'll just plug bossrush.net, and then like we'll plug ourselves, and then we'll get out, you know.
Literally, like, because you go to our website and you could probably know more, you know, more than you want to know about us.
I'm also like, based on my new job and like the way they do their podcast postings on the website for their podcasts, like I think I'm gonna start setting hours up that way, but I want to like think it over a little bit, because it's like, it's how they do it is like really cool and really useful. Although they have a lot of like, because they use WordPress too, for their back end stuff, but it's like all like there's like 100 plugins and a lot of automated stuff. And because I mean, they're an IT company and it's a company, it's not like us like trying to BS our way through crap, right? Like it's like professionally built and stuff, and I'm like gonna maintain it, but like the way that their podcast posts are, or I think I want to try to get into that, like make ours look better than what they are.
Well, one thing I was you know, and I had asked you some questions the other day, because I was talking about there's this podcast I listen to called Pop Culture Leftovers, and they talk about just about everything pop culture, and games doesn't come up super a lot on there because they are like 10 years older than us, or more. So like they, you know, like when they talk games, they're talking that old school, you know, Nintendo stuff that we grew up with as well, but like they don't really, they're not getting into games much like we are. So like this stuff comes up on their shows, but not really that often. And so like I was talking with some people over there and stuff, because they have a really cool community there. So if you like pop culture stuff, and like you like a more vulgar, more goofy, comical show about pop culture stuff, like definitely check their show out. I want to actually try to have the guys on from that show to do a 2v2 or a 1v1 or whatever, because I think people listeners would really enjoy those guys. They're just freaking hilarious. But I was talking to you though, like about the, like, you know, days of the week that, you know, shows drop and stuff like that. And one thing like with the website that I did notice that we don't, like we have but we don't, is like the info section, like where you could just like where it just literally just says info, and then like you can like learn like more about like everything. Like I was thinking, like I don't know if there's some kind of thing that we could try to figure it out where we can kind of combine it with other stuff. But like I wonder, like when people go, like if they want to know more about like certain aspects or like like each show or whatever. I know there's like a thing that's just shows, but I almost was thinking, I don't, and that's something we could talk about off the show more. But I was just wondering if like maybe if we shouldn't have like some kind of like info like section of like where you can just kind of find the basics, where instead of just looking, through everything to find it, just like more of like a just one section where you can like maybe info and contact or whatever if people want to find the emails for each show or the information of what day those podcasts drop, and like something like that that's just really simple they can click on, and doesn't even take a whole lot wouldn't even take a whole lot to set up. Those are all things that like again, like if there's something that like you as a viewer of the website or something think would be really interesting, because like I feel like we're all up for if there's something that you have an idea or something that you'd like to share with us, like go for it if you think it'll make stuff better.
Yeah, I want everything to be like perfect for our base stuff for when we decide to like start doing our bonus stuff, because like
Yeah.
once the bonus stuff starts coming out, we're not gonna have what little time we do have outside of these shows, like as a group.
Yeah.
Like there's not going to be any time. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we are hitting everything in stride, and so
Yeah.
also like we're going to talk a little bit about this on the Boss Rush podcast, but we are going to do bonus content. We are going to do a Patreon, but we're not intending people to like pay for our bonus content. It's just more for like an early access, and like if you want to interact with our bonus content, you can do it through that and stuff, but it's not like intended to be like, oh, we're doing extra stuff so you have to pay for it type stuff. But just want to let people that are listening to this show that we are, I was trying to target November 1st, but there's been so much going on, and me training for a new job, and then everybody's schedule is just getting all kinds of messed up, because like LaRon and I and some people were supposed to record the first episode of After Dark tonight.
Okay.
At some point, or not tonight, tomorrow night? No, tonight. I don't know. Some point this weekend. Last night maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it was tonight after. Yeah, it was going to be tonight. But then everybody's celebrating Halloween.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, we decided on tonight because Arsenal X records on Sundays, but then that got cut. And then my wife and I were busy with the kids, and then we decided to record tonight because obviously, tomorrow night you said you were going to be out trick-or-treating and stuff. So
yeah, because today is like the adult Halloween night, and then but I'm since I'm a parent, my more crucial Halloween night is actual Halloween.
Yeah. I mean, this is my adult life now. I mean, look, I'm just,
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that, like people understand, like, and that's the thing. Like like especially if you have parents, or you are parents, I should say, that it's not always easy to just drop everything and do something.
Right.
Right. But we want to make sure that we're doing something, at some point.
Right.
But There's
and
going to be times we don't.
What I wanted to do was like bonus episodes for every show, but I think it's just going to be too much for everybody if we start trying to do bonus shows for every show. So I think what we're going to do is like do like a Boss Rush expansion pack type thing, and maybe like, try to aim for like 4 bonus episodes for the month, and then Extra Dark or After Dark will be like 4 shows or 2, maybe 2. I don't know. I think Laurent wants to do 2, start with 2 and see how that goes. And I know people want to bring Standard Def back as a revamped kind of a mix of like how the show was versus, or mixed with like what Logan was doing with Q-List before he left. So I think that would be a better mix of things than just like, oh, well, here's, 8 episodes of Nintendo Power Block instead of 4 for the month. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And then obviously like spoiler casts and review discussions and stuff like that would be like, if you're a patron, you'd get it first, but obviously it would come free on the designated feeds. Like if we were to do like a Halo Infinite spoiler cast, like probably 2 weeks after we did it for patrons, it would be out on YouTube and on Arsenal X feed and Boss Rush feed. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking on the fly. I don't mean to like, again, we're like, what, 36 minutes into the show. We haven't even touched on Xbox yet. Like this is the week we're in. I mean, it's the calm before the storm though, right? Is like, because like Forza's coming, Halo's coming.
Yeah.
Battlefield's coming. Yeah. Obviously Guardians is downloading right now, so we can talk about it next week. Like there's a lot coming, but this is like the last week before the shit hits the fan, as they say.
And we were talking a little bit before the show, and I'm just so done of talking about Halo. I just want to play it.
I know. I just want to play it. Although I do want to talk about some of these graphical changes when we get there.
Yep.
Also, I think we're going to talk about Call of Duty Vanguard's install size, because it's literally like it's less than half the size of what Black Ops Cold War was. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah. But what I've noticed is like when it comes to the Black Ops like online stuff, the Warzone stuff, apparently all that stuff curates all into one big file. So like it's like that, like the Warzone stuff was like 2 times the size of the actual like just regular campaign and multiplayer or something stupid like that. And so like that's why they had to change it, and they have changed it so you can, each individual thing kind of downloads as its own, like you can click on and off things.
Like you can delete the campaign and keep the multiplayer or whatever. Yeah, I saw that stuff.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Jesse, I know we both haven't really been playing anything, but you want to tell me about your Fortnite excursions recently?
Yeah, sure. I did play some. I've been jumping into Back 4 Blood as well. Just playing like solo campaign stuff. Because I don't mind playing that game solo. It's it's more difficult than playing with other people, but I've been enjoying playing it solos, and but I do occasionally, I will just have it where it fills people randoms online or whatever. I don't know, I really like that game. I really want to one of these nights like actually sit and play it with some friends and stuff, I think.
Yeah, because I would like to like really start playing games on the weekends, especially with you, like on Saturday nights, maybe like some Game Pass stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe the audio for some of that stuff will be bonus stuff or whatever for that kind of stuff. So I want to do that. I know Stephanie and I talked about her doing some stuff with us on the Xbox side, like just like maybe coming on the show like once a month or playing some Game Pass games with us once a month or a couple times a month or whatever. I know she wants to come on Arsenal X and be, like, you know, sit in and be on, because she bought her first Xbox, which is cool. And so, you know, as like a new Xbox owner, I think that would be a cool perspective to have.
And she's just awesome.
You shouldn't bloat her ego like that. I'm gonna hear about it on Boss Rush on Wednesday. But you know, I want to get that. I still want to do an episode of this show on through Sea of Thieves. You know, like I still want to do that. Or I don't know. I think you and I need to just sit down and schedule stuff. Yeah. And put it on some sort of Boss Rush calendar or something, like a Google calendar or something.
Google has a calendar, right? Because like honestly, that's my main problem is like I've always got stuff planned, I've got stuff going on, but if I can look at a calendar and then look at our calendar here, you know, at my house. That's good. You know, my wife's really good about, you know, writing stuff down months ahead of time on the calendar. And I can just flip to that month and be like, okay, well, I don't see anything going on this weekend. I'll ask her, make sure, you know, that there's nothing that's possibly in plans, you know, and do all that. I mean, do, you know, like adulting or whatever you want to call it. But, you know, like as long as I can know ahead of time when it comes to planning things, which is completely the opposite of the way my brain works.
Right.
But I'm getting used to it because it's just something you have to do now, you know, like it's just more important at this point. But yeah, as long as we can sit down and plan something, I can say, hey, you know, like to my wife, me and Corey are going to be doing something this weekend, you know, or whatever. If nothing's going on, just letting you know, I'm going to write it down on my calendar at home. So then she knows, you know, like, and that's what I've been doing with some of this stuff that we've planned and stuff. Or like when Ed came here, I wrote down on the calendar, he's coming, you know, hey, I want to make sure I have time to spend with him this weekend or that day or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll definitely, if we just sit down and just talk and plan some stuff out, I'm all good with that. So,
right.
Cause I do. I straight up just miss like us getting to play stuff together and just goof around and stuff. Cause you know, like when we were playing Royale with Cheese and you know, all that fun and squad goals. And
what we need is like we have one, but like I need to sit down and just like give everybody the passwords and stuff to like the email and stuff. But we have a Boss Rush Google Calendar that we don't use. So like maybe we like pass it out to the team leaders and like, you know, make sure we do that and get everybody's like almost set it up like we are moving forward as a business, and like just be like, hey, these are the people involved in this night. Let's get their email addresses. Let's make sure everybody has everybody's email information at least, and add those email addresses to this event on the calendar and go from there.
Yeah. And then we, you know, like we can even do fun stuff like adding to that, like, hey, this and this day, you know, LaRon's going to be streaming, you know, like right now he's doing the Dead Space stuff. He's been streaming.
Yeah. Like if like if people have personal stuff they want to add to the calendar to help, to let people know to help promote it or whatever, like that's what we should probably do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be best. Cause I do, you know, like that's the thing is I'm all about trying to get on social media to help support and promote people. But if I don't have it, like the knowledge of it, you know, like I can't do anything about it. And if, you know, and if it's like, other than like retweet a tweet or something that just went out. But I mean that, you know, as planned. Like, so it'd be easier to be able to know in advance to really push, planning and stuff like that out there. But
yeah. So I'll well I'll get that set up, and maybe like, because Celeste knows more about how to do that kind of stuff than I do, but I know she's dealing with hurricane stuff, and I don't want to like bother her while she's trying to fix her life from disaster.
Yeah.
So but anyways, back for Blood. Is it fun?
Yeah, I really like it a lot. Like I loved the the previous games that they had made. But
what, Evolve or Left 4 Dead?
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, Left 4 Dead. Like Evolve had some really cool ideas. It just didn't quite pan out the way that they had intended it to. And it really is kind of sad, because like, I mean, those kind of games ended up really blowing up, and some less good looking versions of those kinds of games have blown up, and it's almost like they were a little too early. Like they were ahead of their time. Like people didn't quite realize that that's the kind of game they wanted until after it failed.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just really like the card system, and like all these little cool systems in Back 4 Blood that just really make it very interesting, but more just like you can create your characters to be what you want them to be or what you need them to be. And I just really appreciate that a lot with this game. And it is a fun game to just be able to jump into with friends and just like totally goof around and just have crazy opportunities to just have like fun and crazy stuff happen. Like
right.
Like one of the times I was just like, they had these chain guns that you can, like a turret or whatever, you can set up somewhere right before these massive like horde just comes, like hundreds of them at a time, just rushing out from everywhere. And I set it up and I'm like, oh, I think it'll be good here. And then I hop on it and literally like it doesn't turn far enough to the sides that I couldn't really use it on anything, and I just got swarmed, and my team just left me for dead because I was just like right in the middle of all of it, and I couldn't turn the Gatling gun far enough to be able to shoot them as they were coming out of the spawns. So it was just like just a learning situation where I'm like, okay, well, I learned that was not a good idea. But yeah, there's just some really unique, like, and even the way they do the storyline, like I like how it's like you've got these really big stretches of where it's like a really big beat for beat, chunk of the storyline where you're battling to get to this bar or whatever to try to take a make an area that you can secure and all that stuff. And so like there's this big thing where you're going through, and then you get to that point, and then there's like that next act will only take like 3 sections of it until you're finished with it. And it's like you've got to this bar now, you did the big trek to get to this place. Now these next couple of acts are of what you're doing to clear it out and set it up as a temporary base or whatever to do your operations or whatever. And so like I really like how they kind of set the story up. The only thing is, like, I wish the character like interaction stuff was better. It's not super great. They try to be funny and stuff like that, but there's just not quite that heart there that they had in some of those previous games. but they were also working with Valve then, which Portal is one of the best like games as far as when it comes to banter and just the talking and the comedy and relief and all that stuff.
Right.
So that kind of is lacking compared to the older ones. But like overall, I really do like this new direction that this has taken those games that they're known for. I think they did do a lot of great things to improve it and make it feel better and more like you care more about the customization and what you're trying to do and with your character and how you're going to achieve it. And yeah, I don't know, I really dig it a lot. So
cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it more. So
yeah,
anytime.
I had it downloaded on my Series S, and then I took it off because I was downloading something from the app, and I was installing something from the app, and it said I didn't have enough room, so I deleted it. But also, it was it doesn't read the external card through the app, so I did have enough room. It just didn't have it on the external app. Hey, my daughter's crying. I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, to fill in here while Corey is gone, I've also been playing some Fortnite. I don't know how many people here that listen to the show play Fortnite, but I'm really digging these rumors of people talking about Naruto possibly coming to the game as a skin or whatever. Because if you don't know me, at this point, I'm a massive Naruto fan. I just started picking up Boruto and trying to watch that, but yeah, I'm actually today I was talking to so my brother-in-law or soon to be brother-in-law is he's a tattoo artist, and all my tattoos that I've gotten I got from him. And I actually was talking to him today that I'm really want to get a tattoo because it's been like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years since I've had one, or maybe even 10 years since I've gotten my last one, and I really want to get a Naruto tattoo. So like I was talking to him about that today, but yeah, like the as far as the Fortnite stuff goes, like I think they've like I really like what they're doing in Fortnite and stuff like that story wise, and I'm honestly curious to see where it goes with the whole like cube monster stuff and all that. And I'm honestly kind of curious to see how they managed to tie Naruto into what's going on. I did notice that, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me looking for stuff, but if you've played Fortnite like recently, so like when you look at the map, there's like kind of there's the center spot where, like, I think it's where that cube like castle like area is, with the chick that's like that you recently unlocked is floating in like a bubble above the castle area. And I like, if you look at the map, like when you go into the map area, it's kind of got these areas that curl like around and stuff, and it's like orange, and it does kind of remind me almost of the Nine-Tailed Beast uh for some reason. And again, like I said, maybe it's just me looking for things, trying to find a way to tie Naruto into what's going on. But I don't know, it just looking at that, it just did kind of remind me of the Nine-Tailed Beast, all of his tails kind of like flowing all over the place. I even went as far as trying to count all the parts that lead off, and I don't think there was 9. points that it goes to, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Fortnite, because sometimes I enjoy playing it, but sometimes it's just like, man, like you'll like go up against these people that only use a shotgun, and that's all they use, and it's just like the auto aim like that's built into the game can be very strong, and yeah, just get like attacked instantly and die. So, but yeah, I've been playing Fortnite a lot to try to finish my son's stuff on Fortnite, and try to do all the unlocks and stuff for it. So that's pretty much, yeah, for that. So
Are you talking so there wasn't silence on the live show, or are you just?
yep. Yeah. Well, were you recording still, or did you pause it?
Oh no, I'm recording. I don't
Okay.
stop.
Well, good. No, the second you left, I just started talking about Fortnite and just filled time.
Cool.
Yeah, so like what I had said before you left is, like, basically in a nutshell, there's rumor that Naruto is coming to Fortnite, and I'm trying to figure out how he would tie into what's going on in Fortnite. So yeah, I don't know, like I said before you joined back, I have a love-hate relationship for that game, because some days it's just like these like just sweaty people that you go against that are just these little kids. They'll just jump around with nothing but a shotgun, and just like, oh man, the building and stuff. I'll never enjoy building in that game, and I've just made peace with that, because that irritates me all the time. I only build if I need to get up somewhere to an area, and that's it. I don't really build if they're gonna kill me while I'm running, and I'm not gonna bother to turn around and build stuff, because who cares? I'm on to the next match. Because the way I play that game, like, honestly, is just trying to do all the achievements and the goals and stuff to get XP to level up my battle pass. That's all I care about. I don't care about winning. I have won quite a few times throughout the years of playing it, like, but it's not really my intended goal. Like, I like going into that game and playing it like as like that game is just played to try to achieve these goals and finish these quests, and I think it's just much more fun if you go in it trying to focus on that versus trying to win, because it's just that game sometimes too, man. It can just lag like crap, or just be really bad. Like, and a lot of times quests won't track, so like I'll do what the quest says to do, and then it just won't track it, so it won't pop that I finished it, and I'm just like, what the F? I just wasted all that time to do this thing that it wants me to do, and it's not even tracking. So there's things I definitely hate about that game, but it's fun when you just try to go into it just not giving a shit about what place you end up being, or whatever. So, because it's just can be too much if you worry about that crap.
Right.
So
yeah,
but yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really played a whole lot this week. I mean, that's seems like every week now. But I mean, I've been focusing on my new job and really trying to like just study up on things, and just trying to be prepared for this job, because it's like what people call a real job now. So I'm just trying to like be focused and whatever. Although I think most of it, I've gotten down most of it. There's still things, obviously. It's like I was there for 1 week. I don't know everything clearly, but I've just been working, and I'm enjoying the job, and I can't say enough good things about how the people have treated me the first week at least, and just everything was it went better than expected, and that's
that's half of the battle though in a in a job, like, and it's like you're not afraid to work harder when you actually enjoy the people you're working for, and feel appreciated. So
yeah. So I'm gonna try to nail down those last couple things, but the people are really cool, and they just like it's nice when people like accept you and talk to you, like, and make you feel like you've been working there for 2 years instead of 2 days, so, and I changed up my office too, because like, not that I plan on working from home a lot, but if I need to, I can now, like, and it's like they have a flexible schedule type thing from working from home and working in the office, which is really cool. So if like my kids are sick or my wife's sick, more importantly, I guess, is like I can stay home and work and try to do things with, to try to help out and stuff. So
yeah, and you're saving money on gas and like doing that as well, and like, I mean, I'm super glad that you're enjoying it, and hopefully, because I mean it's kind of what I'm experiencing with my job here that I've been at for quite a few years now, is like this is the first job where I feel I've really felt appreciated, and and it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
Like working hard isn't the problem. It's a lot of the times it's just you've got to be treated like a person.
Yeah.
And and like your time is important, and and from there, like that's all most people strive, is just to be appreciated at their job. And it's unfortunately there's a lot of places that just don't do that. Like I would say the majority of places don't do that, and they wonder why so many people are like, or so many places are like short staffed, because no one wants to work there, because they don't want to pay you, they don't want to treat you like a person, they don't want to appreciate you. And it's like a lot of people have just said enough's enough.
Yeah.
So it sucks like that places are where people are working are having to work twice as hard. But I mean, it does seem like like gradually places are caring a little bit more about thinking about what they need to do.
Right.
So
yeah.
But
yeah,
dude, I'm just glad that you're enjoying it, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. So and it's kind of funny because like they kind of like it's basically a large scale version of what we're doing, and like a very professional version of what we're doing, but like in enterprise IT instead of talking about video games and stuff. So it's cool. I sat in on a podcast the other day that they record weekly about utilizing artificial intelligence and stuff. So,
nice. What's the podcast? Like, honestly, it's something I'd probably be interested in listening to.
Yeah, it's called Utilizing AI.
Okay, and that's the name of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love that kind of stuff.
One of my kids is making noises. I don't know which one it is. I'm trying to figure it out. I think it's my son.
Are they taking turns tonight?
Yeah, God, no. Like, God, my daughter is sick again, man. Like, not like real sick, but just like snotty nose, like, just gross. And then my son just like refuses to sleep at night. Like, it's just like he's in that stage where he's just like, he needs to sleep on my wife, or he won't sleep at all, or we're gonna start just sleep training him soon. And it's like, well, please don't do it on like a Wednesday or a Sunday, because got a show that day.
So like doing the letting them cry it out type kind of thing, where you because there's that point where they kind of they get so used to being able to be coddled and and everything, and sleep that way, and then they've kind of got to learn to get their independence, and and realize they can fall asleep by themselves, that you don't need to be there. It's okay.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, if I'm not talking, I'm trying to mute myself so you don't have to hear it. So there are a couple things we should probably talk about tonight. 343 obviously showed off the Halo event on Monday, which was the day after we recorded last week. So we said we were talking about it today. They showed off the campaign. They released a bunch of screens and stills of character designs and redesigns, and a lot of people are having fun with the Craig the Brute meme. Because let me tell you, that character redesign looks totally different. It's ridiculous how crazy different it looks. The pilot, the new character, like, looks way better than he did, right? Like, everything just looks a lot cleaner and more next gen. They showed off that elite character with the double swords, which looks cool. Or like it's like an energy sword, and like, it's not really a shield, but it kind of looks like a smaller energy sword or whatever. Looks cool.
It's like it almost looks like a energy sword, and like the tips of it is bent around in a circle, like it almost like it could act as a shield, but yet it's like a sword. I know. And then, like, the one really quick thing too that I really liked about the designs, I love that they have the whole armor stuff where you can shoot pieces of armor off of characters and stuff. That's so cool. Like, I really like that a lot. I was digging that.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, even if you're playing, like, when that campaign multiplayer patch comes out, right? Because it's obviously not going to be there at launch, but when it does come out, you can, like, be tactful. Like, somebody goes in and, like, kind of shoots pieces of armor off, and then, like, if you shoot their helmet off, you could have the sniper take the headshot or whatever, and it would be an instant kill or whatever.
That was really cool looking. Like the sniper and like just knocking it right off, and that stuff I was really liking a lot. A little bit more depth to it.
Sorry, my son's getting loud, so I apologize for anybody listening to the show. I'm trying here. That's why I had my desk set up the other way, because you couldn't hear as much, but it's so sorry. This is what happens when you have kids and you're a parent. So but yeah, I think the campaign looks cool. I'm really interested in where the story's going now with this new AI and how they're going to try to, like, capture Cortana or whatever. Like, I'm really interested in what's going to happen to Master Chief at the end of this, because, like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the end of Master Chief or not, but it very well could be. So I'm interested in this open world-ish concept where, like, it seems like the story is obviously linear, but, like, I feel like it's almost like a Breath of the Wild type situation where, like, the story can kind of happen in any order, but there's might be like a, here's the way you're supposed to do it, but you can technically do it any way you want.
Because they make it seem like there's going to be the, like, mini bosses and stuff throughout the world that will be, you know, similar to your shrine, or not the shrines, what are the
the divine beasts.
The divine beast kind of thing, where like you could, like you can take on each boss in whatever order you want to. But I have a feeling there's going to be like, hey, you're going to want to have this ability or this thing, going against this boss. Hopefully we'll see stuff like that, and like I was thinking, and I had said this in the message thing the other day, that I'm really, really hoping is that the the skulls in this game end up being more of like a dungeons kind of thing, where like there's a big lore dump at the end of some kind of puzzle or thing that you've got to kind of do, and the skull will be at the end of that dungeon, and there'll be like a lore dump in there that will maybe like drop some of the lore of of Halo and kind of have a backstory, like, because I think this gives them a chance to really make those skulls that you would collect in the previous games really mean something, and like actually be part of the lore in a bigger way. um I don't we don't really know what that's gonna all be like, but like I was just thinking that the other day that I love the whole skull things has always been fun, like trying to find them and stuff. But what if what if they're actually something that you can see, because you've seen skulls on the map, like as like little icons or whatever. So like I'm wondering if they're actually like, you're gonna know where skulls are, but it's a matter of going through the challenge or the like whatever that you're gonna have to do to be able to get to the end to earn that skull. you know like I'm really curious how that kind of stuff will be included in into the games.
Yeah. I feel like Halo is like, it's in prime position to be the biggest Halo since probably, I would say 3 at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In terms of just delivering. Obviously, they said it's the biggest campaign they've ever delivered, which kind of worries me. I don't need a Halo campaign to be long, but also with everything that they're doing, plus like the extra stuff they're doing after, which kind of reminds me of that Halo 4 mode, Spartan Ops. Remember when they did those seasons where like season 1 was like 10 extra missions that you could take your created Spartan on and do it with friends, even though like it was a cool idea, but it didn't quite deliver. I wonder if they're gonna do that type of thing again, but like really deliver. And I think like the open world concept actually makes that easier for them to do, instead of like trying to fit these extra missions into already existing like linear Halo missions,
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's part of the question that a lot of people have is like, how is this game going? How are they going to go about making it a continuous kind of thing? Like, are they going to do it I personally think that they're going to take some note from Bungie and how they how Destiny will like add seasons to the where they have a whole nother chunk of campaign that you can play through over time.
I wonder if that would I wonder if that would work for Halo. I mean, it probably would, but then you have to tie those seasons into probably have to tie them somehow into the multiplayer seasons. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm just making that a big deal. Maybe the seasonal stuff for the multiplayer is just cosmetic, like Fortnite or whatever. But then like the seasonal story type stuff, which I guess Destiny does that too, where they have like seasonal armor through the season, like the season pass and stuff. So.
Yeah, like I'm thinking more of like almost like not like episodic without actually being episodic game.
Yeah.
Essentially like going back to the days of expansions, like you had this game, and there's a whole nother chunk of like it was like almost like a whole nother game of content that you added to the campaign that would continue the campaign, like a year later or whatever.
Right.
Like I because like, do they just like potentially continuously add campaign content like to this game and never actually make a new Halo? Like,
Right. Well, they
like
said their plan was to support this for like 8 to 10 years, so
yeah,
which is a long time.
Because,
but also, I'm looking at the way Destiny's been supported. We're going on year 8 of Destiny, so
yeah. I mean, because like the thing is too is like, I think that's why they broke the multiplayer out, because once multiplayer isn't technically part of that game you release every year, you no longer have to make a new numbered game of that every year.
Yeah.
Like you can, because that stands alone and gets updated and improved over time on its own.
Right.
So you can just keep dumping content for the campaign into the Halo Infinite.
Right.
Like there's just not a, like, we're getting more and more closer to a time where there isn't necessarily a need for a new named full game that you have to pay another $60 for to come out, when they can just continuously add really good well-made content to the game you already have and improve other things along the way. Like, look at Destiny. Like, there's time periods where when the like story stuff came out, like, they dramatically improved the graphics, the looks, the everything of that whole entire game, along with that new update or that new content drop. And like, I could see like where that would be a way to kind of slowly upgrade and improve things as the technology gets better and better, or they learn more and more how to improve or use the hardware to improve certain aspects of the game, like similar to what we've seen where we had the 4K upgrades and and all these kinds of things at the end of the Xbox, the series, the One X and stuff like that, where you would see like better improved upgrades and graphic downloads for certain games, because they finally could figure out and update everything to make it look better and run better or whatever. So like, it's really exciting, honestly, as a Halo fan, to see what they do with this, and how they handle all that stuff moving forward. I know that we still have the what is it, the CDG or whatever, that show thing that's supposed to be coming, or did that happen already? The GCD or whatever.
The Halo,
Yeah, there, like, isn't there a?
There's a Showtime show.
There, well, no, like, I mean, like, aren't they supposed to be having an Xbox like show thing for linked to one of the big shows that happens every year?
Oh, I don't know. Like, there's GDC, there's CES.
Yeah, GDC. I think we're supposed to be getting a Microsoft thing around that, and they've been talking about how we won't see anything new, but we will see a lot of good updates to stuff that we've already seen.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if we'll maybe eventually get something like that, where they'll talk about the future of Halo once it's out.
Right. I mean, they'll probably do some sort of roadmap, something in the spring or something, right? Like, I can't see them releasing Halo and then not saying anything after, right? Like I think they just want they got to do some sort of roadmap, right? Like I just
Yeah.
especially not just a Halo roadmap, but like we know what games are coming from Xbox, but like nothing's dated, so they're gonna have to give us some sort of roadmap for that too. So I wonder if they'll just do it all at once at like an inside, like the first inside Xbox, like maybe in January or February or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was even thinking maybe like what they do is, you know, like when it's getting closer to the time that that co-op campaign co-op is getting ready to launch, and Forge is getting ready to launch, that they do like a thing of, hey, this is, you know, like at least for Halo, like maybe they'll have a show where they talk about other stuff as well, but be like, hey, you know, as we get ready for, you know, for campaign co-op to drop and Forge to finally appear, you know, here's you know what our plans are for, you know, like why this is called Halo Infinite.
Right.
You know, like this is, you know, what we're planning, because by that time a lot of people will have played the campaign,
Right.
and they can kind of like have more for people to look forward to as far as where the game's going to go.
Right.
You know, like I think that would be kind of, I could see something like that happening eventually, like early next year or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see. I think the next time we talk about Halo, I want to talk about us playing Halo, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
I just, man.
I know,
Dude,
I
can't believe, like, okay, like, I get it, like, Xbox's first-party games are coming to Game Pass day one and stuff, and, like, but Halo's, like, the biggest game that's hit Game Pass since probably Gears 5, I would say, right? Like, this is going to be so big for Game Pass, like.
So I've still got my physical copy coming from when I got the Master Chief
the statue
thing.
Yeah, mine's up there too with the I bought the Halo Infinite statue that's sitting next to my Halo 3 helmet and my Halo Reach statue. So,
which feels like we bought those like what, 2 years ago?
I think it was like last October or November. I got mine in last November from Best Buy. Okay. So
yeah, I know I got mine at some point.
Yeah,
feels like forever, but yeah. God, because we've been waiting for this game to come out forever. But I'm just glad though, because like what we've seen initially and what we just seen is like two different games.
Yeah.
Like one is running on Xbox 360, and the other one, you know, is definitely looks more like a new console game. So
yeah, I wonder what it's gonna look like on Xbox One, like a base Xbox One. You still have a base Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
You should just install it just to see what it looks like.
I might try it, because you know, that's the thing though, is like Microsoft's been pretty good about making, you know, like games run on old versions of, you know, of things that, yeah, I'm sure it'll be noticeably different, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of like we talked about, you know, a while back about when the 360 version of Titanfall 2 came out or whatever, and it was like legit like a pretty decent you know, game. Or was it the original Titanfall that only was on 360?
No, the original Titanfall was on Xbox One also.
Okay.
It was on Xbox One and Xbox 360. I played it on Xbox 360 and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so it was the first one, not the second one. But yeah, like I feel like Microsoft Studios have been kind of like on that kind of level with, like with the making sure that their games ported to those older consoles are still really, really good versions of that game. Just, they're just not going to be running 4K or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but it will be doing, a serviceable job at making the 1080p, look and run well. Because I am curious. I wonder if it will just be 1080p or lower, but running 60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
think they want
I would
to. I think
imagine.
they're aiming at 60 frames across the board for Halo, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
because Halo 5 was running at 60 frames on Xbox One, base Xbox One. So
hmm yeah, yeah. Which, like that's the thing is, like, between them and the guys at, making the Forza games,
right.
like those versions of those games, it doesn't matter what you're playing them on, they ran really well.
Mm-hmm.
um so
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not too afraid. And like, and kind of to touch on like what you had said earlier, like I'm really, really glad that they didn't just completely ignore Halo 5. And that, because like I don't think the story was delivered well in 5,
Mm-hmm.
but I did actually really enjoy the idea and the concept of the story that was being told.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole AI going rogue and being corrupted, and turning into the thing that we have to fear, that has, potentially control over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole idea is something that's, a story that's been told many times.
Right.
And I, and I do love that story, and I'm glad that we're going to get to see it through.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I honestly, I don't think it was the story so much that was a problem in 5, and more the delivery of it.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
in my opinion anyway. I think the story was a good idea, it just wasn't executed well.
Right. Yeah.
But
No, I
so
agree
yeah,
with you. So
so yeah, so I'm excited. I really do like the idea behind this story, and like, taking us on that adventure to go try to save Cortana and make everything right again
yeah.
is just, it just seems like an awesome storyline. So
Yeah. Well, Halo coming. What I think I saw a post. It was like 39 or 40 days away. So
yeah, yeah, it's the what, mid-December.
December 8th, I think. So
Yeah, yeah, that's right, December 8th.
all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Call of Duty real quick. Um, Nothing really new to report on the game or anything, except for if you're playing on Series X, it's going to be about, let's see. I'm just going to read this article from Pure Xbox. Activision has officially released the install sizes for Call of Duty Vanguard's launch on November 5th. And despite the Call of Duty series being known for ridiculous file sizes in recent years, Vanguard is not too bad at all to start with. Xbox One, you're looking at a download of 56.6 gigabytes, whereas Series X and Series S clock in a little higher than 61. Some Xbox owners have suggested it could go up to 72.6 gigabytes on Series X, however, depending on certain features, and probably if you get the super duper I pay too much money for Call of Duty edition. So it says that the reason for smaller file sizes at launch is because Activision is utilizing, quote, new on-demand texture streaming tech, which means the team at Sledgehammer Games can achieve up to, quote, 30 to 50% of a file size difference. So that's cool. Cool. I mean, Call of Duty has been like the laughing stock of these new consoles, right? Where like you can't even fit all of Call of Duty, Cold War, and Warzone on a Series S without an expansion card. So,
well, and you've never played Black Ops Cold War, did you?
mm-mm.
Dude, so I recently went back and downloaded it because I own it, and this is a game that I bought and maybe 2 days, 3 days into owning it, said no, I just can't with this game. It looks like a freaking PS2 game. Like the graphics and everything were just look so bad. And I'm like, this is like the complete opposite of what Call of Duty is. Well, it turns out what it was is they were having issues with textures and stuff popping in. It just looked really, really bad, when you're playing multiplayer. And so like I hadn't played it in forever. And so I went back and I downloaded it again. And I went and I played it, and man, it still does not look good.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing it at 4K, and like it just does not look good. It's so like everything is so flat. Like you walk up to a wall, and how normally you'd have like a 3D like looking texture to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not there. I don't know what it is with that game, if they really just did not do much, texture wise for that game. But I downloaded like the massive expansion to upgrade all the textures and everything to 4K, and it still just looks miserable. I don't know what it is about that game. Just because I'm comparing it to other games that have been doing, that are just as old or not that new,
Mm-hmm.
that are running 4K, and just like textures and things around you just look so much better than in that game. And I'm just talking regular regular multiplayer, not Warzone, not like just regular multiplayer. It just looks so bad. And I honestly have just kind of dropped off of it because that game just really did not do a good job when it came out, and it had so many bad issues. And it still, like I said, does not look good. So I don't know. I'm curious to see, but like after playing that new Battlefield beta, and that was just a beta, and that game, like texture wise and just everything, just looks so amazing in that game.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see.
Are you excited? Are you excited for Battlefield, by the way?
Yeah. I'm really excited for it because like I had enough of the old school war stuff. I wanted to come back to modern type stuff with Battlefield, because I tried 5, I tried 1, and it was cool, and it was more of a like, oh, this is fun for a couple of hours and then I'm done with it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that it's come back to modern, and after playing the beta, I really, really love the plus, like the plus sign or whatever menu that pops up, where literally in the middle of a gunfight you can switch to what attachments you want on your gun, and literally just start shooting like the second after you exit out of that menu. Like I just really, really like the customization stuff that they've added to this and changed, where you're not having to pull up a full menu and go through everything and and try to figure out what you want. You can just literally on the fly be like, oh, like I want a zoom scope that can zoom, for this, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move in and get into closer combat now, so let me throw on my, my more close range sight, and then literally the flip of a couple of buttons, and boom, you've switched from from one type of scope to the other, or you threw a suppressor on, and because you needed that to not get people's attention or whatever. Yeah, it's, and the map wise, like there's a lot more 3D and scale to like the actual ground and stuff you're running on. Much more like realistic bushes and trees and things that really just have been done so much better in this beta than the previous games. It really does feel like more like a Far Cry map. Like I mean, that's how lush with like grass and tall grass or trees or bushes and stuff that you can use for cover. It is. So I'm really, really excited for it.
Cool.
Because yeah, it's just definitely improved.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, you have to let me know how Battlefield is, because I like when it actually comes out, because I'm interested, and there's not really a lot of games left for me to purchase this year. So I might get the Mario Party for Switch, but other than that, like, everything else is on Game Pass, or I'm waiting for a sale. Like for Tales of Arise, I want it, but I'm waiting for that eventual, Black Friday sale for Xbox. So, because that'll probably definitely be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, like if Battlefield's good, maybe that's something that we can play together when it's all said and done, and maybe, use that extra money to jump in on that. So,
yeah, for sure.
Because it just, aesthetically, it just looks cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Battlefield 4 is still such an amazing game, even how old it is. I still go back to it occasionally and play it. But yeah, this is just like that, but just so much better. So I just like I just like how they handle things and build worlds in their game.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, there's nothing else really in the news. Like I said, it's kind of a slow news week. There's a bunch of games on Game Pass that came out this week. Where is that? PSA. Well, never mind. I was gonna say that Biomutant is free to play this weekend, but by the time you guys hear this, it'll be done. So never mind. Where is that post I had? While I'm looking for this, did you see that guy who on Twitch who made a working Xbox controller out of Legos?
No, I didn't. I seen the guy who made a working controller for the Final Fantasy remake that's a Buster Sword.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you literally you tip the Buster Sword up like that, and then you block in game, and when he swings, it swings in game. It's really cool.
Wow, that's cool. It's like the guy who played Dark Souls with like the Donkey Kong drums from GameCube.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for our segment Pass It On, where we talk about what's coming to Game Pass this week. There's 8 games we're going to talk about real quick. They kind of dropped, like a couple days ago. So Age of Empires 4, obviously the big one on PC. A lot of people are giving that game great reviews and loving it, especially people who like Age of Empires 2. It really has that feel, which has me excited. and it's on Game Pass, so I will probably check it out because why not? Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which was the XBLA kind of, not Alan Wake 2, but kind of like that interstitial game. So
yeah, which I need to finish the remake or the remaster or whatever.
yeah. Backbone, an indie game from Raw Fury. Backbone is inspired by film noir, weird sci-fi, and post-Soviet aesthetics, modern political regimes, the works of Lynch and Kaufman, and existential philosophy of Sartre. I don't know. It's a linear cinematic narrative experience that subverts genre and challenges your perception of what it means to be a person. Animal people solving crimes, basically, is what this game is. So, Bassmaster, what?
Nothing.
Bassmaster Fishing 2022. I know everybody's looking for that. Non-Guns Doppelganger Edition. Rebuilt from the ground up, the Doppelganger Edition is a remastered version of the original, never previously released on consoles, and features 2 all-new modes, Arena and Local Co-op. I'm going to watch this trailer real quick because I don't know what this game is. Oh, shoot. Sounds on.
Yeah, it's a real, it's like a like an old school like platformer kind of, but like, you know, very
okay, so
stylistic.
Okay, the images in the initial part of the trailer made it look like a like almost like a third person action art hand drawn thing, but this is definitely a pixel side scrolling pixel shooter type game. So Project Wingman, which is looks like a stop playing the trailers, stop playing the sound. It's like a dogfighting airplane game. I don't know what, fighter jet game. Jeez Christ. So that looks cool. And then I think the biggest one of the week, besides Age of Empires, I think the biggest one coming to console is The Forgotten City, the game that's gotten a lot of buzz. It was a Skyrim mod at first, and it's kind of like they put Majora's Mask into this weird kind of sci-fi fantasy world. So it looks neat. So if you're into that, it's coming to Xbox as well. So those are the games that just dropped on Game Pass. So check them out. There's no other news. Kind of like BS at the top of the show. I mean, I don't care. We can keep going if you want. I don't really care. People can listen or not listen. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I don't really have anything more to talk about. To be honest, we kind of talked about most of it in the beginning.
Yeah.
That like I said, a lot of my free time here off and on has been more based around trying to watch some shows.
Yeah. I've also been watching shows. I've been watching Titans on HBO Max, which I think I talked a little bit about last week.
Yeah.
I'm on the first episode of season 2, which season 1 kind of left off on a cliffhanger, which, that's how they keep you coming back for the next season. But I like it. I hope it gets a 4th season because I like what I'm watching, and I don't know. I think the pandemic screwed a lot of stuff up, but they did just announce that Doom Patrol is getting a 4th season, so I don't see why this wouldn't get a 4th season.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another one I need to watch too, because I love the DC like stuff. You know, obviously I'm more of a DC person. But yeah, like I've been kind of wanting to start that as well, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been watching Titans too, but you know, the Tennessee ones. Yeah. Wow. Man, I'm so excited for I can't wait. I hope they win tomorrow. against the Colts because, dude, after seeing them embarrass the hell out of Kansas City Chiefs, like that was just insane. Like I could not believe that I was watching the Tennessee Titans. Like,
Yeah, like
don't get me wrong,
what's happening to the
they
Chiefs
beat
this season?
Buffalo. Well, yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think people are just like, I think it's their offensive line is just not, it's just not where it needs to be because I mean, man, that game of them against the Titans, and don't get me wrong, I mean Tennessee's defense has like stepped up quite a bit over the past couple of games, but still, I mean they, you know, their defense I think was rated like super low in the beginning of the year. Tennessee's, so I think like 11th or something, 11th place, but yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, that was just such a crazy game. Like, I just could not believe that they only scored 3 points that whole entire game. Kansas City.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I loved it because I was a Titans fan, and
Right.
I'm just like I mean, because like you know, like they also went against Buffalo and beat them just barely. But I mean, you're talking about two teams in Buffalo and Kansas City that you know are people have looked at as potential, you know, Super Bowl, you know, but at least playoffs, guaranteed playoff contendants, you know, contenders.
Mm-hmm.
And for someone like Tennessee to be able to step up and beat back to back like those two teams just really like Twitter has been going crazy on my Twitter with so many people just like just all over the place, like, you know, cheering on Tennessee and stuff like that. It's good to see them like have a team that's like doing pretty well and you know, and has that heart there that like, you know, last time I seen was, you know, like when Steve McNair like brought them to the Super Bowl. You know, and around that time, like it's been a little while now since they've had a team that was remotely good. So yeah, it's the yeah, Kansas City of all teams, I never would have told you that Tennessee would beat Kansas City that bad.
Yeah.
Like never.
Yeah. Man, Kansas City is like, what's happening to them this season?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know. It's yeah, something's just not right there. Like, because I mean, you know, again, it's a good team. Like on paper, that's it should be a really good team. I mean, they've been doing well the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so yeah, that's I'm excited. I'm excited to hopefully at least listen to that game tomorrow. Or I don't. I think. Well, I think Tennessee's game's around noon, so I should technically be able to watch that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before we head out. So.
Yeah.
But sports.
Right. I'm.
Well, it's just like I don't know. Like I kind of lost it with the Packers, and like, you know, I've followed Tennessee the last couple of years more than Green Bay, honestly. And now like seeing them like have a little bit of energy and hope, and like they've got some amazing people who, you know, like Derrick Henry is like on track to be an MVP, and he's a running back. Like, you know, like a running back no one has ever, other outside of like I think they said kickers, like most is usually scored the most points in a game. And he's been just dominating. So
yeah. Browns play the Steelers tomorrow, so that's big game
Browns.
for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get to watch at least some of it. I don't know. I kind of.
Yeah.
It depends on what's happening. I'm supposed to get a haircut tomorrow, and my parents are coming over, and so hopefully I'll get to watch some of it. But I'm going to record it and watch it. Probably after.
Well, how has Browns been doing this year? I haven't gotten a chance. Like, what's their record?
They're 4-3.
Okay.
They lost to the Chargers by 5 points, and I mean, we scored like 40-something points, so our defense played bad. We lost to the Chiefs by like. Let me see. Browns. Schedule.
Yeah, because I know they were doing pretty decent. Like, was it last year or whatever? So.
Yeah, I want to see.
And I mean, there's.
Oh, jeez. We lost to the Chiefs by 4. We lost to the Chargers by 5, and we got stomped by the Cardinals, 37-14. We got stomped, but also like half of our team got hurt, and we last week when we played the Broncos, we won by 3 with like, I think literally 13 of our starters were out.
Yeah.
So that was good, a good sign.
Yeah, that was another thing that's impressive about Tennessee. I could have swore they said that they've got like 18 people who are are out, and like those positions are being filled by people who are non-starters.
I know,
like it was something insane like that.
We have like 6 players on the active roster right now who were practice squad players. So I don't know. I'm hoping that the Browns can kind of pull it out, because I don't know. I'm kind of worried that Baker Mayfield, our quarterback, he has 2 different injuries in the same shoulder. It's his non-throwing shoulder, but still.
Oh, okay.
And he should probably have surgery, honestly. But he sat out last Thursday against the Broncos. But he's gonna play he's gonna play tomorrow, so we'll see. But I think he should sit out. I mean, we have one of the best backup quarterbacks in football right now in Case Keenum, so I wouldn't mind him sitting out. But I know he wants to play in the division games, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's always how it always ends up being, where it's like they're afraid to sit out, because if you miss too much, then you kind of get in a position where you might not be able to play later on in the future when you really want to, or really feel like you need to.
Right. So.
But yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that was our sports talk for the day. This really is a variety show.
I know. This is fun. Like I mean, who cares, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I would imagine like people are probably just like. Oh,
I feel like if you and I just did a podcast outside of like Boss Rush or something, and it was just you and me, and we would just BS for 2 hours and then leave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be one of those podcasts.
Well, and like it comes back to like I don't get to go on I haven't been on the Boss Rush regular show or like anything else. So it's like there's a lot of things that like I've always like.
Maybe this is what
I could talk about, but I don't really because I try to keep
Maybe that's what expansion pack will be, is just like BSing for an hour or 2.
Yeah. Just talk about like,
because I know
it's like,
I know After Dark is like gonna be sort of like not like I mean, adult themed stuff, but like more like let's talk about adult problems or dating or whatever. I know that's kind of where LeBron's head is at, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With that, but like maybe expansion pack is just like BSing for an hour about anything we want, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like getting the aspects of our other parts of what makes us, because like we love video games obviously, but there's still so much more to all of us that we're interested in. And I feel like we do sprinkle that stuff in there gradually anyways, but
right.
sometimes we want to just talk about like a show or talk about whatever, but we don't necessarily want to do a whole episode on just one show. We want to be able to talk about multiple things, and which that would give us a chance to kind of share our interests outside of it.
Plus it works for like the evergreen nature. Like if we're gonna have, if people want it early, right, they can donate or subscribe or whatever. But like also like if you miss 2 weeks, like you know what I mean, if you listen to it 2 weeks later, like we're planning on it, like it's not like they're missing anything, so
like a couple weeks ago, I didn't talk about it on the last podcast, but I went and seen Dave Attell live, and holy shit, was that dude fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was such a good comedy show. And the guy that opened up for him was really good too. It was great, dude. Like him just trashing our city, and making fun of things, and it just was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good. Yeah. He's one of my all-time favorite comedians, though.
Yeah, I remember that show he used to do on Comedy Central. What was it, Insomniac or something?
Insomniac. Yep. Yeah.
I used to watch that.
Yeah, I love. I have I think season 1 and 2 on DVD of that show.
Oh wow.
Like the uncensored versions or whatever they released. Yeah. I love that show. Stay up late, Insomniac. Was it kick the Sandman in his sack? Stay up late, Insomniac.
Right.
Yeah, I loved that show. And yeah, like that, and like just growing up with the Tom Green show. Yeah. Oh man, just all that stuff. Like I like, me and my wife are very similar in that we talked, like I literally said, like, honestly, if we could do it every single night that a comedy act comes to the comedy show by us, I would go every single night, and without even caring who's there, because I just love comedians and comedy so much that it does not matter who it is. Like I want to see like what new comics and stuff I could find, or find someone that I never even heard of or whatever, that's been popular for a while or whatever. Because there's so many people out there,
right?
And I just love it all. And like, man, it's just really disappointing, the whole cancel culture, coming after the one thing that's supposed to be sacred. Like, being offensive and all that stuff is like, that's part of comedy. Like, that you take that away, and you take away like the heart and soul of comedy. Like, it's not meant to be hurtful. It's coming from a place of love. It's not. It just sucks. I hate the whole cancel culture. Like aspects of some things. Like, yeah. I get it. I understand fighting for things, and I understand, wanting better from some things, but it just does not apply to everything. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, with that said, I think we're going to get out of here. Well, thank you everybody for watching and or listening to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. You can find us live every Sunday night on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network. You can also find us on podcast services and YouTube on Tuesday mornings. Follow the Boss Rush Network on social media at Boss Rush Network. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Yeah, you can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find all of our shows and our content on our YouTube channel or on bossrush.net. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.